Well, first of all, just like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Do appreciate you taking the time to catch up with us and talk about COVID-19. And on part of that scenario there, we've managed to secure the digital strategist from Good George, Ben Furmansky. G'day, Ben. How's it going?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good, good, good. Hey, thanks for your time today. Look, this is, like I said, is a part of our series on COVID-19 and the way that businesses have pivoted themselves to be able to take, a good shot at some sort of business normalcy. So I just want to have a chat to you about what Good George have done. So just tell us a little bit about Good George pre-COVID-19.
Cool. So, Good George has been around for almost 10 years now. Pre-COVID-19, it basically went from strength to strength, growing its hospitality sector from just the one sort of brewery and pub to now having 6 bars in its internal network, and plenty of partner bars, concept bars, and then heaps of restaurants right the way throughout New Zealand who have our beer on tap.
Yeah, cool. So pretty significant kind of supply through the hospitality sector.
That's right. Yeah, we're lucky to have a few in our own network, but also a network of bars around the country who really want to have us on their rotating taps and feature us as guest beers. So
Yeah, cool.
we're playing in our own sort of market as well as the New Zealand craft beer scene.
No, that's really cool. And so you talk about all the venues that you've had. Obviously, with the with COVID-19 coming along, shut down for the last sort of 6 weeks or so.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So we were I guess we were in level 2 for not very long, and there was a little bit of that sort of social distancing and record keeping practices that we did on site just in that first week. And then it turned to level 4 pretty quickly after. So those doors have been shut for about 5 weeks now.
Yeah, no, that must be pretty tough on the staff, especially with uncertainty around sort of return times.
Yeah.
And so now that New Zealand is in level 3, tell me a little bit about sort of the strategy going forward.
Yeah. So since we were back to level 3, we've launched an online ordering platform so that people can either pick up their food or have it delivered to their house, depending on where they live. We've managed to reopen Good Neighbour, Good Union, and as well as our restaurant in Mission Bay and North Wharf.
Cool, man. Well, that's really cool. And obviously, the pickup stuff is not on the Rocketspark platform, but the Good George's venue sites and the main sort of e-commerce functionality are on the Rocketspark platform.
Yeah.
So during the lockdown, what online sort of sales activities were you guys doing?
So I can tell you before lockdown, it was online sales, maybe 3 to 5 orders a day.
Yeah.
Basically, the day, overnight, that went from 3 or 5 orders a day to up to 100 just in that first week. So it was overnight. Everything switched to e-commerce, which was great for us because, as well as that, we basically lost 80% of our sales channels as well, with liquor stores closing, with pubs closing. So it's good for us to be able to supplement that through e-commerce.
Yeah, for sure. And tell us a bit about the hand sanitizer experience.
Yeah, so that was full credit to the founders, Jason, Brian, and Daryl, who they installed a still in the brewery about a year ago, and just sort of tinkering away with gin and whiskey. And then as COVID was becoming more and more of an impact here in New Zealand, they basically decided overnight to turn that into instead of making gin and whiskey, to make hand sanitizer. So basically looked up the recipe according to the World Health Organization, and within 24 hours had made the decision to start producing and distributing. And within, I think, 48 hours, we really had the name, the concept down, and everything.
Wow. So from a marketing perspective, how did you spread the word on that one?
It was actually very organic. We the first couple of bottles we just photographed shared that online and shared our intentions. Basically, the message was that it was early days. We weren't sure how much we could produce, but we're trying to produce as much as we can. That one post on Facebook took off, and a few hours later, we were getting messages from reporters, from the Herald, from staff, wanting to have a bit more information.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And then so obviously with the help of the sort of the organic PR push and stuff, sales went through the roof. How quickly did they sell out?
We were making about 200 bottles a day, and we were taking a lot of inquiries. So what we did was we just built up a form on Rocketspark, just so we can get people's details before we could, so that we had their details, so that when we did have enough production and enough hand sanitizer made, we could get in touch with them. And within, I think, 2 days, it was 1,800 people signed up to be the first to know about it. So we quickly realized that there was a massive demand, and that was just the people that bothered to fill out the form. You also included the people that were commenting on Facebook and Instagram. So pretty quickly, pretty clear to see that there was a lot of people wanting this sort of stuff.
That's awesome. And do you think that all of the activity around the hand sanitizer kind of put Good George on the map for a lot of people that never come across the brand before?
Yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of people being introduced to our social media channels. Overnight, there was huge growth in terms of our follower numbers. So definitely people being introduced to us that didn't know about us beforehand.
Yeah, man, that's cool, and that's cool. And so, what with your role as digital strategist, you do a lot of work on the e-commerce side of things for the Good George business. What's your experience using the Rocketspark platform to manage that side of the business?
The experience has been great so far. The creating sort of new items on the store, which has been our latest strategy, sort of rolling through that new product each week. That's been pretty easy to implement, as well as managing existing stock, running subscriptions, downloading sales reports, things like that. It's all very, very easy for me.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. And then, so would you have any advice for people looking to sell online?
Yeah, so just on that, I think there's obviously the difference between online shopping and shopping in a store. So in the store, you can actually pick up a product and really get the feel for it. So for e-commerce, my advice would just be to offer as much information as you can on that product, so that those people who really, really need to do their research and study can actually access information.
Yeah, for sure.
So in our case, it's tasting notes, it's what the beer smells and looks like. We do often do tasting videos with our head brewer Brian, who really discusses the flavors of the beer or the cider and how it came to be.
That's very cool. I think for a boutique brewery like yourself, provenance plays a huge part in the value of the product that you're producing. So
Yeah.
being able to have access to Brian to be able to talk through the beginnings of the brew and its flavors and stuff like that, I think is really, really valuable. No, that's very cool. So other than that, it's been awesome to have you along today. So thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure.
And good luck with the rest of what you guys have got planned.
Cheers.
Cool. Thanks, man.